So there's a small YouTube channel named Ryth, and in my opinion, I think he is an insufferable douchebag. And by the way, before I continue, I have a few things to say. Number one, I had to end the stream a little bit early because, I wanted to give myself some time and, relax while I'm making these videos. And also, before I continue furthermore, I need to tell everyone here not to harass anyone mentioned in the video. I'm simply here to call them out on their very bad no behavior. And if you do want to do something about it, report his channel for contributing to the distribution of sexually explicit content to minors. He's done a lot of questionable things, and in my opinion, he should be banned. He has made sexually explicit thumbnails, and no, I do not say allegedly because number one, it's still on his channel and I have a backup of it. And number two, he's admitted to it. And what I can also say for sure is that he's definitely marketing this stuff towards children. Earlier, in this previous video, I made a logical reasoning that his content might be geared towards children because, oh wait, no, never mind, he admitted that his content is mostly for kids when an OnlyFans model promoted her content on his channel.
Videos on my YouTube channel that maybe a large portion of my YouTube audience is underage kids.
Oh yeah, did I forget to mention that he also admitted to showing a little bit of titty over here?
Listen, there ain't nothing wrong with a little titty in the thumbnail, right? Topper Guild, I do it, Zong does it, f***ing everybody does it. But
great going, Mr. Ryth. What a stand-up fellow. He pretty much admitted over the span of, 2 to 4 months that he was showing explicit content to kids. You're doing a great service to the community, everyone really appreciates you. And that was the main reason why I covered him in my last video. However, there's a lot more messed up stuff that he's allegedly done, and thanks to a few of you commenters talking about how he's actually actually racist and sexist. Yeah, no, he might be all these other things as well. I think in my previous video, I didn't really do Ryth justice because I brought up shallow bits of evidence. But then I started watching some of his videos, and just because you say all of your videos are gits and shiggles, that doesn't exclude you from criticism, and you have crossed a few really goofy lines, and he's no exception to any of these lines. So today, we're going to be going deeper into his lore and seeing what this furry has to say about himself. And before I get into the video, please don't go harassing Ryth or any of his associates. There's no reason to. You're not better than him by harassing him. You're only emulating his behavior. And these are just my opinions, and I implore every single one of you to do your own research before you come to your own conclusions. Please don't take my opinions as a fact because they aren't. They're simply allegations and opinions and nothing more. Now, with that being said, let's begin. Yeah, we're gonna start off with the minor things, and even though I talked about the horrible thumbnails and stuff like that, I'm still gonna go back to talking about them. I looked back at his older videos to see how far back he's been doing this, and it's pretty bad. This stupid bastard actually put real Roblox corn in his content starting 3 years ago. I have his entire channel backed up, by the way, because when he inevitably responds, I know he's gonna say, where is the Roblox corn? Where is it all? And I'll have it all backed up uncensored too, and no, I'm not gonna show it to anyone. And before I continue and I show the heavily censored versions of these thumbnails, I would like to explain that I have to at least show some of this evidence that this is happening, or else there's going to be the obvious question of, oh, does it really exist now, and all that other stuff. But if I do show it, of course, it would be hypocritical of me to do what I condemn. And I feel like the middle ground between that is that I can show it, but I won't show the entire thumbnail. I'll only show parts of it. And I'm only showing the uncensored versions of it. And there are censored versions of it to make sure that it's not entirely, you don't have big titties just on the screen. And in my humble opinion, I think that's a fine line to be treading on in order to properly back up my argument, because I don't want people to, go actively looking for it. I want people to know that it exists, but I don't want them to be exposed to it at the same time, if that makes sense. But anyways, he can't really back out of it now. He marketed this content towards kids. He even said so himself, that his audience is primarily kids. And you call out Kobe Blocks for doing the exact same thing, but when it's you, that's okay because you can flex 2 cars on your Instagram page? That's pathetic, man. First of all, buying a car is when I took virtual enterprise, They told us that a car is one of the worst financial investments you can ever make, because apparently, like, according to some statistics, the value of your car goes down by like 20% or something like that the second you drive it out of your car lot or whatever they sell it at. But anyways, going back to the argument, sorry about that, you're committing a crime by exposing minors to indecent material, and you yourself admitted it just very recently. If the Roblox corn 3 years back doesn't get to you, then the recent quote-unquote little bit of titty will certainly get you, man. On top of that, let's go to the Aphmau, I don't know how to pronounce your name, Aphmau, or some, that Minecraft YouTuber that does Roblox gameplay and whatever, not Roblox, Minecraft roleplay. This is some horrendous and disturbing material right here. You have her chained up in the thumbnail in this one, and in a different one, you depict her as this crazy yandere. And I can also argue that your other thumbnails are kind of sexually oriented as well. And this guy has also been milking Aphmau so much, I'm not sure if Ryth knows that milk expires. And so does Drama. From what I have seen, the only crime she committed was being cringe. And I have seen a few sources saying, oh, she's like racist or something like that. Or she makes heterosexual men become homosexual men in like fanfic that she writes or whatever. But I don't really know too much about that. And of course, being cringe doesn't constitute harassment. It deserves one lashing of insults and that's it. But this guy's giving like 10, 20 of them. And this guy has made not 1, not 2, not 5, not 6, not 9, not 69, but 8 videos on Aphmau. And that's like 5 too many. 1, I understand. 2, maybe for clarification. The 3rd is probably a response. But then after the 4th, that's just kind of repetitive and boring content. Oh, did I forget to mention that he made quite a few YouTube shorts on Aphmau? Yeah, he probably did make 69 videos on total on Aphmau. But the point is, for some reason, he has this weird fixation on this girl. But where I really draw the line is where you depict her as this crazy person in the thumbnail just because she's cringe. And that's really narcissistic for you to depict her as this crazy girl that's in love with you when clearly she's not. She's not fixated on you. She doesn't care about you. You're just this guy that's just milking this, severely milking. You are a serial milker when it comes to Aphmau drama. I don't know why you have this many thumbnails and videos and shorts on Aphmau. Like, just stop. Like, you don't have to do all that. And Ryth probably doesn't think that Aphmau's crazy in love with her. Let's be real here. But for him to be creating such thumbnails kind of tells me that he thinks he's the main character, which he's not. I don't know if I'm gonna put this part into the first segment or the second one where I want to talk about him being sexist. I don't really know if I want to put it into the sexism part or the horrible thumbnails part. Most likely the horrible thumbnails part. But anyways, this part is more off script. But I also started to realize the more I looked into his videos, I started looking back at his thumbnails to make sure I didn't miss anything else. And I started to realize that the more I scroll through, the more I see that every single time he talks about a female of some sort, or even Roblox really, I would say a very, very, very conservative estimate would be around, I don't know, 70 to 75%. Personally, I would say around like 85 to 90%, but let's just say like around 70 to 75%. So around 3/4 of every single video he's made that has a female of some sort on the thumbnail. He's kind of using that female to show a bunch of cleavage in order to get people to, click on his videos. So by him doing that, it kind of feels like he's using females and the sexualization of them as a commodity that helps him make more money. And that's just a really messed up thing for him to do. Like, not only is it really weird that he's making these sorts of thumbnails for children, it also feels like he uses it to such an extent where I feel like he doesn't really respect women in a sense. And this sounds really weird. I hope you can try and understand what I'm saying, because I didn't really script this part either. But basically what I want to say is that it feels like he's just using women in his thumbnails, or at least drawn out women as props in order to get more people to click on his videos, so that way he would make more money out of it. And that's just a really messed up and horrible thing for him to do, and that's just something that I feel like I should also include. So, in my opinion, Ryth is kind of sexist. But unlike Darman, where Darman supposedly stereotypes people, this guy actually is just straight up sexist. Like, allegedly, of course. I can't really say for sure. I can't read his mind. I can't confirm anything. In the video, Clean Girl has crossed the line. He calls the cleaning lady's clothes skimpy, even though she's just wearing summertime clothes. Maybe I can see, like, the shorts being a little bit too short, maybe. And he says he would, quote-unquote, beat the shit out of her because she is cleaning his grave in what he thinks is skimpy clothing when it's not.
Magically ends up on YouTube Shorts, and it's some skimpy blonde bimbo cleaning their grave and formatting it like a Mr. Beast video while simultaneously making money on it. Shouldn't that piss you off?
And as far as I can see, she always wears the same clothes. It's also not her fault either. She's based in Puerto Rico, and if Ryth did any level of research, he would know. And this tells me that Ryth is just a bandwagon who doesn't have his own thoughts and only started making fun of the cleaning lady because everyone else is making fun of her. And in all honesty, I know nothing about this cleaning lady, but I kind of feel like the premise of cleaning graves is, like, fine, I guess, as long as you're getting permission from the relatives of the person who lies within the grave. I did hear from some sources that she isn't getting permission, which is kind of messed up, but it doesn't exactly warrant execution for it, because she's simply doing a nice favor, but that's probably because I'm naive. I also did hear that she's using chemicals that is ruining the graves though, so that is definitely messed up, but she's not the focus of the video, so I'll just leave that cleaning lady stuff at that, I guess. Either way, I don't want to get into her too much, I'm just getting into Ryth. The point is, women can wear short sleeves and shorts, dude. She's living in Puerto Rico. On top of that, she's cleaning, like, graves and stuff. Don't you, like, wear, like, short clothes so that way, like, you know, it doesn't, like, the chemicals and cleaning supplies and stuff like that don't get on your clothes? Like, isn't that the whole point of it? And he also calls her a bimbo a lot, which I think is kind of distasteful because he really emphasizes the blonde bimbo part in which he thinks and what he thinks is skimpy clothing, which is kind of sexist to an extent in my opinion. Bimbo means an attractive but supposedly dumb girl, and usually this term is associated with blonde people, and I have no clue what the origins of this term are. But just because she's blonde, you think she's attractive and she wears short clothing, which she's doing it because number one, she lives in a hot place, and number two, she's cleaning graves. You wear short clothes so that way it doesn't get your clothes dirty, which is kind of like a weird thing, but like, you know, a lot of people do that anyways. And just because of that, he calls her like the term bimbo a lot. And on top of that, I've noticed that he uses the term bimbo a lot. Like, every single time it's like a Caucasian person, he would always call them a bimbo, and that's just really weird.
Maybe if those White Claw drunkard fucking bimbos would get out of my face.
For him to be calling her that a lot, and that's really weird. And on top of the fact that he commodifies women, in a sense, in his thumbnails, that leads me to believe that he's kind of sexist to an extent. Yeah, I'm clickbaiting you guys. He's not racist. I am so sorry. Sorry not. He's also allegedly anti-Semitic. Now, I don't know about you guys, but putting aside the fact that he categorizes decently looking Caucasian blonde ladies as bimbos, he's done much worse than that, and also because Ryth is Portuguese, he can do that, that's fine. Well, I mean, that's still kind of sexist, but like, so like, that's not really fine. But I mean, in terms of like the racism aspect, I mean, he's Caucasian, that's fine. And taking a look at another Darman video he posted, at 6:49, he posted about SS Sniper Wolf being like, and I quote, a Jewish shark sniffing money, or something along those lines. I can't make this up. Roll the clip.
Oh wait, that's right. That's only because you do something for other people when there's money involved. Sniper Wolf's like a fucking Jewish shark smelling money across the globe. Fuck you.
Haha, you're so quirky. You're playing into the Jewish stereotype of Jewish people being greedy, which is something that a man with a silly mustache once said. According to the Wiener Holocaust Library, I don't know if I even said that right, there was a painting made by the Nazis where a painting made that had a caption below apparently stating that the god of the Jews is money. So going back to Ryth, I did a little bit of research, and it's entirely possible that Ryth could have been Jewish, in which case he's making fun of his identity, and that's completely fine. However, Ryth, as far as I can see, isn't Jewish. I briefly remember him saying that he goes to church as opposed to the Jewish faith attending services at synagogues, meaning that Ryth isn't Jewish but is instead a Christian. And if that's the case, that's pretty messed up for him to be calling Sniper Wolf, like stereotyping her as a Jewish shark sniffing money. And that's just really horrible, and that's really just disgusting. But at the same time, I'm not entirely sure if Ryth is even religious at all, so it's still a pretty racist thing to be saying regardless of his faith. Also, I did a little bit of research into Sniper Wolf's background further, and also, funnily enough, Sniper Wolf was definitely not Jewish, so that's a really weird thing for him to be calling someone Jewish when they're not Jewish. FYI, as a Sniper Wolf is most likely some denomination of Islam. She's probably a Sunni Islam from what I've seen from the research I've done. And yeah, that's really about it. I don't really know. I feel like I just wanted to also include this part because I feel like it's just really weird for Ryth to be calling someone who is not religious anymore, by the way. I think she said she denounced her religion, and she also says that she is religionless. And yeah, it's really about it. I mean, it's a really weird thing for him to be saying. By him, I mean Ryth. After I saw that Jewish shark joke that he made, I didn't really want to look into his content anymore. I was like, yep, this is enough for me. But yeah, if you guys find any more racism comments, leave a little comment down below. Let other people know what other racist things he said. And yeah, I mean, that's really about it. For this section at least. Let's move on to the last one. Point is, I'm not going to show any of like the actual clips because I draw the line at videos and stuff like that. Like thumbnails I can actually do, I can censor properly, but for videos I use CapCut as like an editing software, so I can't really censor the videos properly, so that's why I don't really want to take the risk, with the exception being the box shorts video that I did a while ago where I had to partially like at least try and censor it so that way I can let people know that it exists. And I also want to limit the amount of things that I show as much as I can. And yeah, that's really about it. Now, with that being said, let's continue on with him pretty much allegedly breaking the law as far as my research has shown me. In this Gacha Life Predator got away with it. He shows a montage of inappropriate thumbnails of gacha characters dinking and doinking each other. This OnlyFans girl advertises to minors video that he made. Throughout the entire video, you're just sprinkling in her scantily clad naked peaches. This Roblox YouTuber promotes OnlyFans to kids video is just entirely hypocritical. It's also the video where you admit to showing, and I quote unquote, a little bit of titty. Now, I know some of you are gonna say, well, Willie Tato, if he's been doing this for so long, why hasn't he been banned yet? Clearly, YouTube is fine with it since he's been doing this for 3 years. I kid you not, if you filter Ryth's videos to oldest, you will find so much R34 that Diddy would have been proud. And don't think I didn't archive any of that. Ryth is not getting away with any of these allegations. But anyways, good job, Ryth. Setting a prime good example. I'm going to be reporting your account for inappropriate content right now, by the way. I don't even know if YouTube's going to look at it. And if you ever have the audacity to say that I'm harassing you and your channel, number one, I'm telling people not to harass you, and I still don't encourage it. You shouldn't be harassing him anyways, audience. And I'm not harassing you in any way whatsoever. I'm calling out your trash behavior. I am bringing to the public light information that I have gathered based on the videos and your own statements that you definitely scripted and thought was a good idea to put out there. And also, this part's gonna be not scripted because I didn't write this part in either. I finished the script like months ago, but I just didn't get it done because I wanted to, do it by order. But anyways, so yeah, I mean, YouTube should definitely be taking action against you for the things that you have posted. And you still have it up on your channel, by the way. You should definitely change these thumbnails to like, I don't know, like all of them, turn all of them into like a black screen until you can like properly change the thumbnails. But you shouldn't be having this type of content on your platform. Now, there was a certain YouTuber named Two-Faced Individual, and he does bring up a few good points. Me being, a little bit conservative, and me being a little bit too sensitive about the thumbnails that are being put out there. But he or she, I don't know, I'm not going to assume your gender. it's not okay to be making these types of exceptions. We need to keep these exceptions strict. Otherwise, we will be having like these weird exceptions, and then eventually it's just going to lead to complete chaos, which is why I'm very, very conservative about it. It's because I know that we are all stooping down to a big low, right? Like, we're all seeing this type of content sprinkled throughout YouTube, and we're also seeing it throughout kids' content and those content farms. And I'm also trying to raise the bar back up a little bit, so that way, eventually, as the bar goes down, if it goes down low enough, eventually there will be someone whenever I'm not around, because I know that eventually I'm not going to be making videos anymore. That's just a fact. There'll be one day where I won't make a video, but someone else will. Someone will bring to attention that, oh, we need to raise back up our standards. We need to fight against these types of actions. And eventually someone is going to have that mantle, and someone is going to bring to attention these types of things and bring the bar back up. So as at the end of the day, the whole entire mission is to just try and fight back against the brain rot that's been infesting YouTube, and to try and bring back the parts of society that I know deep down all of us miss. Which is why I'm making these Ryth videos, is because people like him need to be immediately stopped. And yeah, that's all I really have to say about that. Thank you so much to It-Faced Individual for making your videos. I know that you are trying to come off as rude, and it does kind of come off as rude. But overall, even though you hope that my video YouTube career will crash and burn, I hope that you will at least somewhat find peace in your life. Like, I know things are probably, being really, rough with you. Like, life is being rough with you. And I really do hope that you find that peace of mind. And yeah, that's all I really have to say about that segment. Time to try and end the video. So yeah, that's all I really have to say about Ryth. Overall, it's kind of weird for him to be making these videos. He has really bad thumbnails that should not be allowed on this platform by any means. Ryth should definitely get banned, or at least if he doesn't get banned, at least try and encourage him to change the thumbnails that he has. And yeah, that's all I really have to say. Ryth, if you're watching this, which I don't know, you're probably not, but if you are, at least try and change your thumbnails, man, because you are a huge hypocrite, and it's just the things you've been doing are not good by any means. So just change, or at least try to change, man. You become what you sought to destroy. And we really miss your normal voice. We miss the times. Well, I mean, I never really watched you. I think I watched you like a few times before COVID, like when I was in like 6th grade. But, we really miss your normal voice. You don't have to scream into the mic. Like, just be genuine. Don't try and be funny. Eventually, like, if you see, like, kind of like the quote where if you seek power, you'll never get it. Or, like, power comes to those who never seek it. It's kind of like that type of thing. That's it. The same thing goes with comedy. The less you try, the more funny you'll be. And yeah, that's all I really have to say. Everyone, I implore you all to do your own research. Please don't go out of your way to harass Ryth, because that's not a good thing to do. Ryth, I hope you change your damn thumbnails and the type of content you do. And yeah, that's all I really have to say. Stay away from the brain rot, guys. And yeah, that's all I really have to say. I hope you have a good day, and bye.